Good morning, everyone. The last lecture was on Weberian understanding of legitimacy and rationality, and that topic is very much important to understand the concept of legitimacy and rationality with reference to legal system. Now we are going to start another topic from unit number 2, and the topic is law in relation of social order. So two things you have to keep in your mind, two things you have to understand in this topic. Number one, law, and how law is related to social order. So we have two variables to understand. Number one, social order. Number two, law. What is law? Law means we're talking about rules and regulation. We're talking about which is codified, which is written. Post 1950, law has become very important aspect of modern societies in India. But when it comes to globe, you can say that law is considered as one of the most important aspect as well as in India. So law has a very deep socio-cultural history. So that we already have discussed in evolution of legal system as well as an introduction to law in society. So what we are going to do in this topic on we will try to understand what is the meaning of social order. So when we are looking at this concept social order, what is the meaning of social order? So there are two words that we have to understand. Number one, social. Number two, order. So social already I have discussed with you. Social means we're talking about our uh, social relationship. So social means already we're talking about society, and their MacGyver explanation of society becomes very important. Social means we're talking about three I's means interaction, interrelation, interdependence, and social is very important when it comes to modern societies because social means we're talking about a proper socialization where every individual uh, is undergoing through different trainings from childhood to up to adulthood and up to old age also. So there are different parameters, there are different types of socializations. So during childhood we receive different kinds of socialization, during adulthood we receive different kinds of socialization. So there are different agencies of socializations that socializes us about how to behave in a society, how to understand social relations, and how to cope up with different kinds of challenges. So there are different understanding of social. So please remember, when we're talking about interaction, we are talking about individual to individual interactions, individual to group interactions, and group to group interactions, society to society interactions, community to community interactions. So social as a word is very much exploratory. So it depends upon you how you're going to conceptualize, how you're going to understand. Social means we're talking about society itself. So here you have to understand the concept of society. You have to understand the structure and the various functioning of society. Social also means we are talking about different social institutions. So if you look at the structure of society, in society we have different individuals, we have different institutions, we have different rules and regulations. So we have norms and values. So all these things makes our society more meaningful. So when it comes to individual, at the same time, different institutions plays a major role. So if you look at social order, we are talking about how different institutions are, um, um, how different institutions are interacting with each other on the basis of certain order. For example, when it comes to marriage, family, kinship, religion, economic, political institutions, these all are interrelated. Order means we're talking about certain arrangement, a very systematic arrangement, orderly arranged or arrangement, or orderly arranged, systematically arranged. Social order means we're talking about the order of society. We're talking about, for example, look at your family. Family need the support of economic institutions. Family also need religious or spiritual blessings. So if you look at in your family, there is a mother, father, and offsprings. And every member, they have certain responsibilities. So if you look at the role of father, father helps the children's and the household. Mother also helps. So that you have to understand the concept of household. How household is managing the activities. That is also one kind of order when it comes to family. In the same way, if you look at different institutions, they have certain orders. If you look at any organization, so in organization we can find there is different division of labor. So different division of labor, they are involved in different capacities to handle or to complete a particular task or certain tasks. So that means how different division of labors are, the specialization or the people are involved in certain tasks to complete certain tasks. So this is all about order. But when we're talking about social order, it means we're talking about society. We're talking about different institutions. We're talking about how different institutions are interrelated, interlinked. We are trying to understand the entire social structure. Social structure means we are talking about culture, religion, and all kinds of social institutions. We're talking about material things as well as non-material things. So I request you, please understand the concept of social order with exploratory approach, with having a sound understanding of sociological theories from Comte to Max Weber, or you can go through modern perspective or postmodern perspective also. So this is about social order. Let's understand social order means at one side we have family. Family means we're talking about primary socialization. So family helps in primary socialization. And education means meritocracy. Meritocracy means class. Social regulations, crime. So family also helps us to understand about the crime. What is legal, what is illegal, what is right, what is wrong. So socialization becomes very important in that context. So that's why when it comes to social order, the primary responsibility of a family is to ensure that the child is socialized in a manner where the child is able to understand what is right, what is wrong. So religion means we're talking about spiritual blessing, at the same time we're talking about collective consciousness. So religion as a social institution also helps in the social order. So if you look at all kinds of social institutions, either it can be family, marriage, kinship, or religion, education, culture, caste, anything. So all these institutions plays a very significant role. Maybe you can find there are certain conflict in these institutions, but that's a very a different aspect or different matter. When it comes to social order, how these all institutions help in the maintenance of the social order. Social means we're talking about everything. We're talking about everything. We're talking about both macro as well as micro aspect. Macro means we're talking about the different social institutions. Micro means we're talking about individual activities. Family consists of father, mother, offsprings. In education, if you look at education means we're talking about different micro things. Means children are there, okay, people are there. Means you can find there are teachers. There will be certain infrastructure. So if you understand each and every social institutions, you will find that there are certain elements, and these elements becomes very important and significant to maintain the social order of that particular social institution. So let's understand the definitions of social order. So, my dear students, if you look at sociology, in sociology, if you understand Auguste Comte is considered as a founding father of sociology. So when Auguste Comte was trying to understand the social statics and social dynamics in his work, when he was writing about positive philosophy in between 1830 and 1842, so in that particular concept, he has defined social order with reference to social statics. Means, according to Auguste Comte, social order means he was talking about social structure. So, social statics studies the condition of the existence of society, what Comte calls the social consensus. It is related to the social order. Social statics deals with a simple positive analysis of the anatomy of various societies and the bonds of mutual solidarity among uh, the institutions of a particular collectivity. So you can write about Auguste Comte means social order according to Auguste Comte means social statics. So if you look at social statics means we are talking about a very how a system functions, how different systems are institutional interrelated. Number two, we have Durkheim. Durkheim was talking about social solidarity. Social order means social solidarity. And if you look at Karl Marx was talking about a relation of productions. So there are different theories that you can understand, you can go through, and I will share with you the study material on this particular uh, concept also, like how to understand the definitions, subtopic like definitions that you have to go through. So why to understand the nature of social order, how to understand, how and why to understand. So the question is how to understand first. So what is the nature of social order? So nature of social order means if you understand your society. So from the beginning of socialization, if you understand human life, so human life was looking for some kind of sustainability. So if you start from hunting and gatherings, so why people they were doing hunting and gatherings? For survival. What is survival? Survival means we are talking about sustainability. How to sustain, how to sustain a life. So when we are talking about nature of social order, you have to begin, you have to start from the civilization itself. You can start from Indus Valley civilization. Why we need household? Why we need to construct buildings? Why we need uh, to have marriages? So there are different institutions, and in these different institutions, you can find there are different activities. So if you understand these activities with reference to these different institutions, you can find that these activities have a very deep socio and cultural history. So the nature of social order is not something which is very new. It has a very long history. So nature of social order means social order becomes very important for the survival. Social order becomes very important for a systematic society. Social order becomes very important for a healthy society. Social order becomes very important for a progressive society. So if you look at social order is a fundamental concept in sociology that refers to the way that various components of society work together to maintain the status quo. They include social structure institutions, social relations, social interaction of behavior, cultural features such as norms, beliefs, and values. So if you look at outside the field of sociology, people often use the term social order to refer to a state of stability and consensus that exists in the absence of chaos, chaos and upheaval. Sociologists, however, have a more complex understanding of the term. Within the field, it refers to the organization of many interrelated parts of society. Social order is present when individuals agree to a shared social contract that states that certain rules and laws must be abided and certain standard values norms maintained. Social order can be observed with the national societies, geographical regions, institutions, and organizations, communities, formal and informal groups, and even at the scale of global society. So practices, however, values and beliefs that are counter to those of the social order are typically framed as deviant and or dangerous and are curtailed through the enforcement of laws, rules, norms, and taboos. So please keep in your mind, please try to understand that when you have to understand the nature of social order, please try to understand the entire context of uh, sociology. Try to understand the nature of sociology itself. So social order is very important for the maintenance of social relations, social institutions, for the maintenance of society. So when we're talking about law in relation to social order, so this is a very important thing that we have to discuss. So law means we're talking about different rules and regulations. We're talking about different institutions. We're talking about different relationships that we can discuss. So when it comes to law in relation of social order, so if you look at the Constitution of India was adopted on November 26, 1949. Some provisions of the Constitution came into force on the same day, but the remaining provisions of the Constitution came into force on Jan 26, 1950. This day is referred to the Constitution as the date of its commencement and celebrated as the Republic Day. The Indian Constitution is unique in its contents and spirit. Through borrowed from almost every constitution of the world, the Constitution of India has several salient features that distinguish it from the constitution of other countries. So, Bharat Ratna Babasaheb Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, the chief architect of Constitution of India, is the man of millennium for social justice in the sense that he became the deliverer of or the messiah of the Dalits, the erstwhile untouchable. So what we have to understand the social justice when it comes to law and social change in India or law and order relation to social order. Other backward classes and women constitute 95% of Hindu population. So if you look at your constitution, your Article 19 that deals with and enshrines the fundamental rights of citizens of this country. Article 23 and 24 provides for fundamental rights against exploitation. Article 24 in particular prohibits an employer from employing a child below the age of 14 years. Article 31 makes a specific provision in regard to the fundamental right to property and deals with the vexed problem of compulsory acquisition of property. Article 38 requires that the state should make an effort to promote the welfare of the people by securing and protecting as effectively as it may a social order in which justice, social, economic, and political shall inform all the institutions of national life. Article 39, Clause A says that the state shall secure that the operation of the legal system promotes justice on a basis of equal opportunity and shall in a particular provide free legal aid by suitable legislations or schemes or in any other way to ensure that opportunities for securing justice are not denied to any citizen by reason of economic or other disabilities. Article 41 recognizes every citizen's rights to work, to education, as to public assistance in case of unemployment, old age, sickness, and disablement, and in other cases of undeserved want. Article 42 stresses the importance of securing just and inhuman uh, conditions of work and for maternity relief. Article 43 holds before the working population the ideal of the living wage, and Article 46 emphasizes the importance of the promotion of educational and economic interest of scheduled caste and scheduled tribes and other weaker sections. So please remember there are many laws that deals with the relation of social order. If you look at your constitution itself guarantees your constitution itself uh, guarantee us to provide the social, economic, and political justice. So that you have to keep in mind when you're in this law in relation to social order. So law is there to maintain the social control, to maintain the social order of the society. Social control means how different agencies they are looking after uh, different conflicts. If you look at the role of police, the role of courts, the role of major enforcement agencies, so these agencies becomes very important when it comes to handling any kind of a challenge or the conflict. So recently we are fighting with COVID-19. So how different agencies like the police, like the court, like the government, how they are dealing with this issue, and how they are giving various information, or they are going after like lockdown, or they are taking strict actions to handle or to deal with COVID-19. So this is all about social control. Social control means how different agencies, these agencies are legitimate agencies. Agencies means talking about one system. So judicial system or law means we're talking about one system. How these different agencies like police, court, army, government machinery, legislative. So these all machineries comes under under law. So how these agencies controls the society during conflict, or when they are managing society as a whole. So that you have to understand. So what is interplay between values and norms and the law? So if you look at values and norms, this is also one of the most important sections that you have to understand. So when I'm talking about values and norms, so according to M. Sharif in his book The Psychology of Social Norms, published in the 1936, norms are the common standard are ideas which guide members' responses in all established groups. According to Duncan Mitchell, social norms are general percepts which, being internalized or accepted by individuals, induce conformity in simple actions or in complex ethical judgments, thus increasing group unity. In sociological theories, norms implies the shared expectations of behavior that uh, which is considered culturally desirable and appropriate. Norms are similar to rules, although they lack the formal status of rules. The concept of norm is closely related to the roles, as roles can be said to be a set of norms attached to a social position. So please remember, when we're talking about norms, means we're talking about general principles, or we're talking about law. Values, what is value? Then what is value? Values. So values provide more general guidelines for conduct as compared to norms, which are very specific. Values are group conceptions of or relative desirability of things. Many norms can be seen as manifestation of one single value. Value can be strong, semi-permanent, underlying, explicit or implicit, etc. However, common fund of shared values provide social and political consensus, which is needed for survival of in society. The issue of values has been discussed by Durkheim and Weber at length. That already I have discussed with you. So, dear students, what you have to remember here, what you have to keep in your mind, that norms means we are talking about general guidelines. So if you look at norms of a family, means you have to respect your elders. That can be one norm. Value means your conduct, how you're behaving, how you're dealing with different situations. So that is means reflection of that norm, the norms. Norms can be, for example, socialization can be one norm. For example, good socialization, bad socializations. So norms can be different in different societies. Values mean reflection. If you are socialized in a proper way, in a systematic way, in a very professional manner, then definitely you will be totally different from a child who has been socialized in an unsystematic or unsocialized manner. So socialization becomes very important when it comes to values and norms. Values means reflection of your norms or your behavior. Norms mean general guidelines. So values means how you are reflecting these guidelines. So values means you're talking about practicality, your actions. Norms means you're talking about just how you are understanding, how you are going through different socializations. So if you look at state initiated legal measures, definitely when it comes to social order, every state has a state or the district, Magistrate, they have certain powers to control or to deal with the various challenges, to handle the various challenges of the state during conflict or during management. So if you look at a state initiated legal measures, so if you look at our constitution, so in constitution you have different articles. If you look at IPC, RC, RPC, so there are different sections where government uh, uh, impose these sections on the violators who are going against a social order. Social order means, if you look at Durkheim's social fact itself is a social order. So social order means how government tries to maintain the social order of the state. So if you look at any particular state, and if you go against these particular state, then government try to impose certain restrictions on that particular member. So this is very important to understand social order. Social order means we're talking about how the state is managing its activities when it comes to government, when it comes to taking various decisions, when it comes to anything. If, for example, I'm giving an example of Northeast or Jammu and Kashmir. So if you look at these states, you can find there are lots of conflict you can find in these states, but how government is taking strict measures to control uh, the society. So, so for the benefit of the society, for the welfare of the society, state is taking certain such measures, such steps. So, if you look at states, sometimes they are taking action against the people who violates the social order of the state. So, these examples you can write while writing about social order. So, please remember, social order is not just a concept; it's a very interrelated phenomena. It's a very interrelated thing that you have to interrelate with each and every social institutions. You can relate social order with everything. You can relate social order with your behavior itself, and you can understand how different institution influences your behavior. So social order you can understand your household activities also. So look at your home and observe the different activities in your home, how your parents and are managing different activities daily, like you are having breakfast, you're having lunch or dinner or something, whatever. So how you are talking to each other, so what are the different parameters that you have to follow, what are the different principles that you have to follow, you respect your elders. This is all about social order. This is all for the maintenance of social order. If you not do this, then there will be some kind of conflict. So please remember, social order is very important, both from micro and macro perspective. So I will share with you the PPT and the study material and the books and articles, and please go through this lecture. And and if there will be any query, you can ask me through mail or you can contact me. Thank you so much.